Go. You're on.
It's 8 o'clock on that, going live. The Hollastic show with J and J. What you say? We're underway. That's it.
I'm telling you guys, I sang the other day, and right before we came on, Jay was like, "Can I sing? Is it okay? Can I sing?" Here, it's set like all the way on me. He's like, "Can I sing?" I said, "Heck yeah, you can sing." Isn't that awesome?
Heck yeah, awesome.
Well, thank you for joining us on this fine Sunday evening. We are actually super excited. We've got a great show today. And before we get into that, let's talk about what we touched on last week.
What did we touch on last week?
We talked about intimate relationships. So we talked about why spending time apart is so important.
Our dog is super excited for this.
Can you guys hear that? Isn't that fun?
He's super excited for this
I think
live.
he was excited for you singing.
No.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't excited for me singing.
He was.
All right, back to the recap, though.
Yes, the recap. So we just talked about intimate relationships and why you need time apart. This is funny right now. Come here, DJ. Come here. Come here. We'll show you off, maybe, if I can get you up here. Well, you gotta jump up here. Come on.
Oh my God.
Come on. Can you get up here? Maybe I'll pick him all the way up. I can't get his face in. He's too low.
Oh my God. I hope he
It's okay. Anyways, so just to recap, we talked about that last week. We talked about why spending time apart is so important. It really helps fuel your soul and helps you come back stronger together. And then we also want to remind you that we have the Healthy and Happy Reboot, which is kicking off on the 18th of June. And if that is something you are interested in doing and going through a transformation, a reboot, and you're looking just to get a healthy, fresh start to kick off the summer, then you are going to want to get everything ordered and at your house. I think you got to get it ordered by like tomorrow, maybe Tuesday at the latest, to make sure you have everything in time. Hey Carrie, hey Lisa, thanks for joining. So,
Also, where are you at? Are you watching live? Are you watching the replay? If you are, let us know in the comments. If there's something that we love, that of course we love it, sorry. If there's something that you love, you like, you laugh about, hit us with the little emojis that pop up on the screen. That helps us go out to more people and gets this live show like out there so more people can watch us and we can spread these good vibes and all that good stuff. While Jenny's working on some stuff.
yes.
Had a pretty good weekend. We have family in town from Ohio. What we've learned is if you have crap around, you're going to eat it, no matter, the choices or whatever. So we kind of pigged out yesterday, mainly because...
Kind of?
Okay. Yeah, we
Kind of?
yeah,
we really
went
pigged
in.
out.
We went in. It was insane yesterday. But, the stuff was there. It was in front of us. So that's why we don't keep it in the house. And we kind of gauge where we want to go when it comes to eating and all that good stuff. So, yeah, other than that, spend a day on the beach, hanging out with family. Fun, as always. It's summertime. Summertime is in full effect. Oh, yeah, if you can't see the shirt, Great Cycle Challenge. We are riding 100 miles total between us. So 100 miles Jay, 100 miles Jen for the month of June to fight kids' cancer. You can still donate, worthy cause. We've gotten about 20 miles so far. Don't worry, we're gonna crush it. Other than that, what else do we got going on? What else is on?
Well, we have a very special guest, and Blanca says, "Hi guys, hi."
That's why all you guys are here for the super special guest, because you probably have kids, and with the state of our society, it's kind of disheartening to see where children are. Things are different from when we grew up. And although we don't have children, some of you are probably saying, like, how are you going to talk about healthy kids? You don't have kids. That's why we have an expert.
Yes. And I mean, even though we don't have kids, a lot of our friends do. And everybody's asking us, how can we do this? How can we do that? So we have a special guest today, and we see her. She's on here, and we're going to bring her on in just a second. Her name is Tara DiTocco. And Tara is, you guys are going to love this live today because Tara has an amazing story. You're definitely going to relate to many aspects of her story. And she has been working in gut health and cellular nutrition for 20 plus years. She also has been focusing on children's health. So we are in for a treat today. Yay, Lisa, first time to watch and you got us live. Woo! Hey, Brittany, glad you can make it. But Tara, she's going to be a powerhouse for you. So we've got a lot to cover with her. She's going to go over a lot of things. But before we bring her on, I just want to let you guys know that we actually have a giveaway. So we are going to do giveaways on our lives. And this giveaway is very, very, very special.
Super special.
And so you're going to be glad you're on live. Because this giveaway, Tara, even though you haven't met her yet, she is so amazing. And she's going to be giving away a 1-hour private discovery session. She's not going to sell you anything. She's going to just focus on you and your family. So you can ask her all of your personal questions. And in order to be eligible to win, there are a couple things that have to be in place.
Oh.
What's the most important thing?
You have to be here for the duration of the show.
Duration of the show. You have to comment, interact, share, tag friends. That was all plugged in one.
Oh, okay.
You have to interact. You have to be a part of the show. So make sure you're tagging people. Make sure you're sharing, you're commenting, because this is what I'm telling you. Look, we were talking about, what could we give her? Maybe we could do this. Maybe we could do that. And Tara said, you know what? I'll give an hour of my time. And we both were like, oh. So I know some of you would love.
I don't think I made that face.
I just saw the wow faces, so I know we both made it.
Oh, okay.
I made that face, Jay did not. But if stay until the end, what we'll do is we'll announce the winner after. But without further ado, let's see if we can bring Tara on.
She's so excited.
I know, right? Tara is coming. Y'all, seriously, this is going to be good. Gotta love lives. Hi, Emily. Emily's on.
Oh, sweet. Yay! Technology is great when it works, right?
All right. Let's get her back on. We're having a little technical difficulties here. We will try again.
So, how was your guys' day? What did you guys do this weekend?
It's not letting her, she said.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. I'm adding her. How about if you're on, post below. I know we asked the question in the event, but post below if you have kids or if you watch kids, or how old are the kids that are in your life?
Now we have some 4 months up to 12 years old.
And no, you got to go even before 4 months.
Oh yeah.
We got some buns in the oven. we just found out. Not us. Oh my God, that almost came out wrong. We just found out some of our friends who are on this live have buns in the oven.
Oh man.
She said it's not giving her an option.
Okay.
We will find a way to get Tara on. Usually this happens pretty quickly. So I know we have buns in the ovens. We have kids all the way up to every age. What's up?
Ask her, does she just want to run it from the speakerphone? We just call her. We do it that way.
Oh, I want them to see her, but if we can't get her on, she's typing. See, it says adding, and it says declined. 15 months and a bun. 20-year-old son and nephews ages 4 to 19. Godchildren ages 10 and 13. So we got a nice little, let's see, speakerphone. Let's see if we can get her on. We'll figure this out.
Technology is great when it works.
She said, hold on. I promise you guys are going to definitely want to be a part of this. Do-do-do.
So if we're doing speakerphone, I should set something else up so you don't have to hold that the entire time.
Maybe. Right? Go figure out something. And I'll try to add her again while we're figuring this out.
For everything.
It won't allow her to hit. I know this is the first time for everything. Maybe our good friend Emily, who does lives all the time, maybe she doesn't have people on. We'll have to figure out how to. So I will tell you guys that something that's really common, and I've heard this a lot when it comes to gut health, is that gut health is really important no matter what age, and especially when you have a bun in the oven. It's really, really powerful. So she's going to be talking about, I think we may have figured it on, figuring it out. It says it's adding her. I don't know what to talk about because I don't have kids. Tara's the expert.
Of course, the topic we have.
I know. I'm like, I like kids. I was just hanging out with my nieces. They're like 11 and 7. They're wonderful. It won't allow her to hit accept. Maybe you try, Tara, to get on. Or we're just going to have to do speaker. Thank you guys for being patient. Call and see if I can get her on. Thanks for the love, whoever's sending it. Connecting. Yay!
Hi.
I will say that's the most nervous I've ever been in my life because I was like, oh my God, I don't know anything about kids. And I hope Tara gets on here soon. Nothing.
We're like, there should not be any dead space during the live.
Oh my God. Now I'm like all weird and close. My whole thing was all messed up.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys. All right, so thank you for sticking around, those of you who are still here. But please remember to share, like, comment, get some more people on here because Tara is a powerhouse. You're going to want to learn some stuff to help your family. So what we will do is we'll start off with Tara asking, you know, how about we at least set the stage here? Okay. Like, what's your background? What's your story? Like, you shared some really powerful things with us. So, like, why'd you get into gut health and kids and all of that?
Okay. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me. You guys are so awesome, and I'm super excited. So, yeah, I'm so excited about this. This is my most favorite topic to discuss. You know, it hits me close to home, and it's truly my passion in this world. And they say, you know, sometimes a tragedy comes a gift. And through my own personal health struggles with me and my family came this gift that I can give back to others and hopefully help them from having to go through the same thing that we went through. Or if they're going through that, you know, I can make it easier and help them to give them the tools to heal themselves, basically. So for everybody that doesn't know me, I am Tara DiTocco. I am a holistic health practitioner in Clearwater, Florida. I've been in the health and wellness space for God, like she said, 20 years. I was an avid athlete and I played every sport manageable. And then I endured an injury. And this happened probably a little over 10 years ago. I was at a party and somebody pulled a metal chair, to be funny, out from underneath me. And I cracked the back of my neck. And yeah. And then 2 days later, I got into a car accident. And then a week later, a chiropractor tried to fix, which I love chiros, and I'm not saying anything negative about that. But this particular chiropractic assistant dropped me on a drop table, and I now suffer from permanent injury. It really took a toll on me, my body, my health, my passion, you know, who I was. As you guys know, you're an athlete, and a piece of you is taken away. It's really hard to move forward. So I started to get really sick. Through this injury, it created this systemic inflammation through my whole body, which I didn't really understand what was going on. All I know is that I was getting sicker and sicker with chronic anxiety and not a lot of pain, but nerve pain can create some really crazy things in your body. And I didn't realize they were coming from my gut. I mean, I was tested for everything under the sun, from MS to cancer to Lyme disease, lupus, you name it. We couldn't really figure out what it was until I found an amazing practitioner and we started discussing gut health. And I was like, wow, it made sense. Everything they were talking about sounded like me. Now, at the same time I was going through this, I had an 18-month-old little boy at home who I started to see some signs of maybe there was going to be some difficulties or disabilities. I hate to say that word. I like to say difference. And, you know, there was. He ended up being nonverbal until the age of 3. But had I not gone through my own pain and my own suffering and my own like healing on what I need to do for me, it turned out it was exactly what I needed to do for him. So in a way that was a gift, and I would do the same thing all over again if I had to for him, because I have an amazing story about what we went through. So they thought that he was going to be possibly autistic, somewhere on the spectrum. Like I said, he was nonverbal. He was lining cars up. And my mama instinct was like, wow, something's really not right here. And I found a holistic pediatrician who I absolutely love. And he led us in the right direction. He was the first doctor to really ever talk to me about food and gut health and the importance of nutrition in my child's daily life and how much that is going to impact his overall health, you know, as a child and growing into an adult. So I dove into holistic health, holistic nutrition. I got every certification I could on gut health so I could heal myself and my family. And, you know, long story short, it worked. We nurtured his gut. We nurtured mine. And now today, he never did test for autism. He's grade level with reading. He's the sweetest boy you'll ever meet in your life. And when we started this journey, everything, his gut health, you can go in and get studies done and they'll test, you know, to see where his gut flora is. And he had everything from SIBO to leaky gut, inflammation, and it was affecting the brain because we all hear nowadays about that gut-brain connection. And I knew that healing his gut was going to heal his life. And he was just recently retested with no gut issues, and he's a very happy, healthy 9-year-old boy. So,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it really is.
So I'm curious, you had this specific scenario with your son where there was some signs for autism or other things, and you helped. But what about for children, or you know, the parents here who have children that aren't necessarily showing signs for that? Like, how can you tell? You know, or what are the kids? I mean, Brittany just said my son has leaky gut too. But how do you find that out, or how do you know as a parent?
You'll see like skin conditions. Some kids will have like eczema or constipation, or the other way, they can have like, you know, chronic diarrhea, mood swings. Maybe, you know, they can't sit still in class or having trouble with reading, because all of that correlates together. So those are the first signs that I think they should look for sure. Allergies, yes, allergies. Food sensitivities is a big one. I remember like apples, and we used to think it was so great. He was eating all these apples. We used to call him Apple Man, and he would have like the rosiest cheeks. And we're like, oh, he's so cute. But it turned out he had a major allergy to apples. Apples have something that's called salicylic acid, which in children and people that have a sensitivities, it actually can be toxic and cause flushing or even a mood swing and getting like super hyper.
I mean, so these are things you can tell. I mean, is the only way to actually like go deeper is to go to like a holistic pediatrician or holistic practitioner? Or how does that work? Because I know Brittany said, hey, can you share who that person was?
Absolutely. Dr. David Berger, Tampa, Florida. He's amazing. Love Berger. And also Dr. Dana McGrady. She's been helping us with some testing lately. So between the two of them, we've really, really come a long way. And they can test for sure and really see if there's anything going on with the gut health as opposed to allergies, sensitivities. I mean, it usually always is. But if you want to get that concrete answer, going to have the microbiome and the flora tested is definitely the way to go.
So why is gut health so important, like for like a mom, maybe a mom carrying a baby, or, you know, children at any age? Does it ever stop? Like how do you determine? I mean, I don't have kids, but I can only imagine like being like, oh, I grew up okay, so my kid's fine. You know, I don't know. I mean, how does a parent even decide? Or, you know, like I think we were talking earlier, like new moms or second or third time moms or parents are like, how do I keep my kids safe? And we look at many different ways with car seats, and just talk about that a little.
Yeah. So why gut health is so important? So most people don't realize 70% of our immune system lies in our gut and 95% of our serotonin. So think about that. So based on how we feel is based on the health of our gut, and how prone we are to illness is based on the health of our gut. You know, Hippocrates said it best thousands of years ago. All, you know, disease begins in the gut. And I think that's the first place that we need to look. You know, like we were talking earlier, when we're pregnant and we're having our babies and we want to keep them safe, we're researching everything on the best crib, the best car seat. We're thinking about, you know, college tuition and enrolling them in some type of program so their future is secure. But how much are we researching on their health to keep the future of them and their health secure? So I feel like that should be priority number one over anything. And it's not really difficult, you know, it's really easy. You don't have to change a lot of things. You know, people can start with very small steps, but I think it's one of the first things that you should start learning in motherhood, along with the car seats and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's so much information out there. So like, where do you start, or who do you focus on? Do you listen only to like the holistic pediatrician? Do you listen to, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you giving you the right info?
I think that's just challenging as a parent, just in general, because I mean, if you're a new parent even if you're a professional parent, like with 2 or 3 different kids, like there's so much information and times have changed so much. You know, I remember growing up, all we used to do is like eat crap, and I turned out okay, you know, but there's all these additives and, you know, stuff added to the food. Now it's like, you know, you can't even have a peanut butter sandwich at school now. So there's information coming from so many directions. It's crazy.
It's true. Well, the food that we had as kids is not the same food that we are eating today, right? So most people don't even know genetically modified foods weren't even introduced to our food system until the late 90s.
Wow.
So it's not super, you know, it's still kind of recent. They're still doing studies. And I think GMOs, I mean, I could be a little controversial here, but I think it's a big science experiment, and I'm just not letting my family be a part of it. We don't really know. I mean, you can read studies both ways, but they said smoking was okay. They said lead was okay at one point, you know what I mean? And then over years, they find out that these things aren't okay. And there are definite studies that show, you know, that in mice, and that over time, when they're fed all these genetically modified foods, they found tumors and digestive issues, fertility issues. So to me, it's just common sense. If it's made in a lab, why are we eating it? You know, our body is meant to metabolize food, real food, not frankenfood. You know, all the wheat was changed. The chemicals are changed. They're taking Roundup and glyphosate, spraying it on our wheat crops so they get a better yield. It's all about money. We know that. They grind it all up, and now it's in all the food that we eat. And now we're feeding our children with it. And there's an influx in cancer and obesity in children, ADHD, autism. Autism's up 80% over the last 10 years. That's crazy. We are so bombarded with toxins on a daily basis. We're not ever going to be able to control that, but we can control what we eat. We can control what we put in our children's mouths. We can control, you know, what doctors we see who are going to look at root cause and truly care about us as a whole and not just care about the bottom line. And as you can tell, I'm really passionate about that because I've seen both sides of it in my journey to health. And, you know, I'm a huge advocate of helping people take control of their own health, because that's really, in the end, all we have. We have one body, one life.
Yeah, you know, and I think this is a good time for Samantha's questions, because she's like, she has 2 of them back to back.
Sure.
So what are things that are big no's for gut health, like the most common issues that come across that we as parents might not think about?
Say that again. I don't know why it like broke up funny.
That's okay. So what are a few things that are a big no-nos for gut health? Like, what are the most common issues you come across that we as parents might not think about?
Okay, so pro-inflammatory foods, dairy, wheat, gluten is a big no-no. Soy is a big no-no.
Notes, these parents, I'd be like taking all these crazy notes. I mean,
they're like, no, what can we like?
Processed foods. I mean, the kids are having so much processed foods, and all those ingredients wreak havoc on the digestive system. It just tears it down. You know, like I said, our bodies are meant to deal with real food. And when it's bombarded by so many toxins between the air we're breathing, you know, what they're spraying in the parks, the food they're ingesting, the liver can only take so much. And eventually the digestion starts to break down. So maybe what we did as kids and grew up, we seem like we're okay. But I don't think people really know what it's like to feel good. and to feel really good.
So, I mean, there's a question like I'm dying to ask, but I feel like we got to keep exploring this a little bit more. So just know that are listening that, you know, one of the next questions that we're going to ask is like, okay, you know, I was just around my cousins and they're eating, you know, goldfish and, you know, all these, like you said, the processed foods, because that's like stuff that's easy for kids to eat.
Right.
So we will talk about how do you make it easy for your kids. So don't worry, that answer's coming. Like, how the heck, you know, because as adults, like, we can make those decisions, but kids go, ew, you know, to certain foods. But Samantha asked another question. You know, with there being so much information out there, she's asking, are probiotics good? Are they necessary? What about fermented foods or an alkaline diet?
Yes, 100% yes. So in order for our gut to work properly and do what it's meant to do to protect us, we're supposed to have a good balance of good versus bad. And ideally, you want more good bacteria than bad so it can keep everything in check. But again, with toxins, it's so hard to naturally do that. So probiotics go in and do that job. They go in and help replenish and keep that good bacteria going. Fermented foods, same thing. Awesome probiotic. And I think everybody should have that every day.
I mean, is that safe for all the children, no matter what age? Or?
My kids were on antibiotics right after birth. You know, their microbiota, which is the gut, is only as healthy as the mother. So if mommy is feeling any of these issues where you have brain fog, digestive distress, anxiety, like all of those are signs of leaky gut, you know, in us. So there's a huge percentage that, you know, your kid has a little bit of gut dysbiosis as well because they can't be any healthier than you.
So, I mean, I think you pretty much answered this, but Elise is asking, what about nursing mother? How might what they eat affect their new baby's gut health?
100%. What you eat affects them, most definitely. And I learned that.
Yeah,
I learned that the hard way. My first one, my second one, I ate completely differently.
Like, what were some of the things you changed? You went from this to that.
So I was like healthy, but I would say more GNC healthy, where I didn't really understand the ingredients. You know, if it made me skinny, woo, I was going to eat it. It didn't matter what was in it, right? So I might have looked really healthy on the outside, but I was a mess on the inside. And it was having, you know, wheat and sugar-free this, which is the worst possible thing that you can put into your body. So I removed all of that, even removed grains. With my son, I lived on sandwiches, and he loves sandwiches to this day, which is funny. So it really does matter what you eat when you're pregnant. They're going to like it. And then my daughter, I was grain-free. I was on probiotics, digestive enzymes, lots of fruits and vegetables. Do you want to say hi? No. Okay, maybe later. I know it started to not work. So mommy had to we had a little technical difficulty. She was asking about the tripod hanging over here that I had up earlier. So it's a duck. So yes, and night and day in both of them, which is really amazing. So I did see both sides. I was more conventional with my son up until he was 8 months and completely 100% holistic when it came to my daughter.
So are you vegan?
I am not. I love meat. I like good, high quality meat though. And I used bone broth. Bone broth was a big component in healing my gut and my son's gut and her. I still wasn't completely healed when I gave birth to her. So we do the same thing with her as well. And I love bone broth, pasture eggs, good grass-fed beef can actually be good for you. And it has really good healthy fats that have lots of health benefits. So I'm not afraid of meat. I think everything in moderation, right? Mm-hmm. If you're having, and you talk about an alkaline diet, we don't want to swing the pendulum too far on either side. You know, you want your, the pH balance for a reason. You can't be too alkalized because then your body can't digest the food either. You don't want to be too acidic because then you're going to start brewing disease. So you really want to be in the middle, which can be lots of fruits and vegetables with healthy fats and good healthy protein. If you are, an omnivore, if you're a vegan, then find a really good source of vegan protein.
If you're too acidic, sorry, go ahead.
That's soy free, but no soy.
Yeah. We had a whole debate on one of my posts about that. So anyways, I was going to ask, so if you're too acidic, is that when heartburn is caused usually?
That's a sign of leaky gut.
Okay.
Heartburn for sure.
All right, let me go to my questions here.
Okay.
All right, so I think we've like really, unless there's any other questions that pop up, I mean, we've talked about all these ways to like see and notice and see how your kids are acting. I mean, like what do you do? Because I mean, I feel like our moms and our parents are getting smarter and smarter where we want to feed our kids healthier food.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's like, oh my God, I'm busy. I'm just getting home. I don't have the energy to do it. It's not convenient, or it's just easier to give them, you know, goldfish or whatever it is, like that's a fast, easy thing.
Right.
So like, how do you choose, or how do you get them eating some of that healthier food that can help heal their gut and, you know, but also be convenient for the mom?
Yeah.
You know, dad and the family. I mean, I praise all you mom and dads out there because I know you guys, you know, these big challenges to face with your busy lives with your kiddos. So how do you do all this?
So for me, smoothies have been a godsend. It's quick, it's easy. I have a really, really good clean pea protein that I use, and I put everything in it. I put our probiotics, our digestive enzymes. I use something that helps pull metals out, which we can get into that another time. Or if there's a mom out there that is concerned about any type of vaccine injury or a son on the spectrum and wants to learn how to detox some of that out of the body, just message me and I'll be happy to chat with you. So anything they need goes in the smoothie, and I'll throw some greens in there, and at least they're starting their day off right with good nutrition. Fish oils are key for mood, like get their omegas in. And I found a really good fish oil they like. It tastes like lemonade. So it's not like that yucky fish oil. It's like gross. You're not giving them fish oil on the spoon.
So, I mean, but also too, I think, you know, we were talking about some of, I think you called it, I'm looking at my notes, you called it like a brain snack or something?
Like I talked about a brainy breakfast, how setting them up for success for the day and making sure they have good fats, good carbohydrates, so they have those slow burning carbs, so their blood sugar is regulated throughout the day, not a lot of sugar. You know, they start their day with a sugar cereal, they're going to be hungry 20 minutes later, first off, because it's just getting burned off like sugar. And then they're going to be tired, cranky. They're probably going to be moving around at school. They're just getting a sugar rush, and then they're going to crash. And then the teachers wonder why they're cranky or not focused, you know? So fat, protein, carb every morning, like an egg with sprouted toast or oatmeal, and I'll put hemp seeds on it. And I'll mix some of their probiotics right into the oatmeal. So, and then maybe a little bit of the protein powder that I use, or just an egg on the side. Like eggs are such good brain food. If they could just start every day with an egg, it would be really good. And you could hard boil them ahead of time. Pull it out. Yeah. We've done a hard boiled egg on the way to school really fast.
Mm-hmm. I know you're a busy mom, and one of the things we talked about that was very, very interesting to me is some of the stuff that you have in your refrigerator ready for the kids. Like you said, sometimes you don't cook a meal. Yeah. I mean, because
lately
life happens. Like life happens. But you know, some people are like, well, since I don't have time, we're gonna go to McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's or whatever. Can you give some of the what do I want to say? Some of the things you do for.
Yeah. So meal prepping is always best. I know we didn't talk about that day, but you know, if you can take one day and prep some protein, I used to do like turkey burgers ahead of time, which I can get recipes for people that are watching tonight. I'll do like a breakfast muffin. You can do a ton all at one time, throw them in the freezer, pull them out, put them in a toaster oven, things like that. But if you can't prep, I will find wild fish sticks that are gluten-free, made with coconut flour versus any wheat, you know, gluten-free chicken nuggets. I mean, that's life. And we're going to throw them in the oven. And then I'll go to Costco and get, you know, frozen cauliflower or quinoa with different vegetables, put that on the stove really fast, and at least they're getting some protein, some carb, a little bit of vegetable. But that's, you know, fast food in a sense, and we can't be perfect all the time. It's okay. You know, I believe 80-20 for sure, where if 80% of the time, you know, you're doing the right things, then your body can handle the 20%.
Yeah, that's a good point. Brittany had a really good question. So she said, my son has a dairy, gluten, peanut, and egg allergy. He's also underweight, but hitting all milestones. So that her son, Brittany, how old is your son? It was 15 months or something, year and a half or so. And then she said, what are some good nutrient, maybe high calorie food we can give him to feed him?
Okay. Cod liver oil. Yes. I see that comment there. If you can get them to take it, just make sure it's from a clean source. When it comes to giving your children fish oils, Nordic Naturals, that's a really good company that I like. And if people have questions on like where to get the best sourcing for things, drop that and I'll go through and answer that for you. So add smoothies, add good healthy fats. As far as like putting weight on, I think people stay away from fat, but fat fuels you. It fuels your brain. It makes you feel full. It can add those extra calories in children that are underweight. And like, again, I'm a big smoothie, or get some sprouted grains and put, peanut butter and jelly. This is another thing that I do, but I'll do organic almond butter. We're strict gluten-free. He has an allergy to that, but we found some really good gluten-free breads too. So if you guys want to know the name of that, ask me and I'll help you with that too. And so we have this like power shake. It's a superfood greens. They're raw, all organic that I use. And I'll mix them with like a strawberry puree, or if I'm busy, like everybody else out there, organic jelly that's got the lowest amount of sugar, which is pure fruit. And they do have those out there. And I mix the power shake into it. So they're getting power jelly with raw almond butter on a sprouted bread. There you go. You got a healthy PB&J. And they're going to like the taste of it, but they're not getting more of a processed sandwich that's just really high in sugar. And I also sprinkle that power shake in applesauce, and that's how I got them to start wanting to have their greens better. And it's so high in alkalinity, and the body will naturally start to crave greens when you introduce them slowly. And it took a couple months. So I would put it in applesauce. I would put it in with the jelly, anything that I could get it into. And then all of a sudden she was like eating broccoli, like raw broccoli. So it works, but you got to hide it in things.
Yeah, that's so. So Brittany asked, what's a power shake? Is it a protein?
It's superfoods. It's raw organic superfoods. One serving is like 6 superfood salads a day. And I just love it. It tastes good. Like I said, I mix it in things. I drink one every day for energy, and I can't go a day. And you guys do too. Yeah, I know. So I know that they can help you get more information on the power shake.
All right. So, I mean, what other questions? I feel like we've covered so much.
Yeah, this is fun.
Let's see. I'm looking at my notes here. Go ahead, Jay.
No, guys. And do you have any more questions? Like, ask. She is a wealth of valuable knowledge, and like I'm sitting here, I'm like, wow. Like, I'm gonna call up my best friend after we get off the phone and be like, you need to do this. So, guys, please do not be afraid to ask. Ask your questions,
anything.
And if we don't do them, we will. You can reach out to Tara. Or we can reach out for you. I'm sorry, like I'm squished in this little square here, so I'm trying to look at my computer and squeeze in a video at the same time. I'm trying to think of.
I've got one. We talked Echo cancel. Like, why? Anyway. So when we were talking before, there was one thing that I really liked that you said, and I think this might be like, unless any other questions come up, this might be a good like thing to leave them with.
Okay.
Is you talked about a book or a couple books that really helped change your life.
Yes.
So if you want to share those.
Yes.
And life, because I know that we are going to add them to our reading list.
Was it Almost Autism? That was the one, right?
That was one, and you also mentioned some of the Dr. Mercola ones.
Oh, Your Best Life Now.
Yes.
Mercola. That was really good on Taking Control of Your Health by Dr. Mercola. It was the first book I ever read that really helped me understand how food affects the body. And then Almost Autism. This book is amazing. It was about a mom who was a health coach. All three of her children had sensory processing. And by nourishing the gut and going through the healing process, she healed all of her children. I mean, it just gave me so much hope and inspiration. And most of that book is how I practice now and why my son never tested. So anybody out there that has a son that, you know, you think is on the or daughter that you think could be on the spectrum or has sensory processing, it's a fabulous read. And it has so much in there to help you.
No, that's good. Thank you. And Brittany has a couple more questions.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think Brittany's really fighting. She wants this. You're going to be talking to Brittany.
You want to call me, Brittany?
So Brittany was asking, how long does it take to heal leaky gut? He's currently taking LGS and Moringa for gut health.
Everybody is different. It's how consistent you are with the diet and the lifestyle. Like when we talked about moms that are busy and you don't have time, but when it comes to the healing process, like I was very diligent. I didn't go off the rails until, you know, things got really good. For me, it took 2 years. And I know that sounds like, oh my God, 2 years, but 2 years is blink. Think about that in life and think where you can be 2 years later. Otherwise, it just continues to prolong and it can get worse. But we do have something now that I just came across that I use that speeds up the healing of the gut lining by 40%. It pulls glyphosate out of the microbiome. It rebuilds the villi so they get more optimal absorption with their nutrition. And it's probably half the time now. You probably can get results in under a year that it took for almost 2 years. And you can help them with that. That is the Biomedic, which is amazing. Yeah. Hey, Rachel.
Hey,
Rach.
She got 3 hays. So the second thing she asked is, any other supplements you can recommend for mom and baby?
Yes. I'll put them in the comments. I mean, I have like a whole little regimen that I use in the protein shake with the Biomedic. I think a little bit of the fulvic zeolite is really good too to pull some toxins out of the body. And then probiotics, the enzymes. So it's kind of a whole little concoction, but it works amazingly. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do.
Some of this stuff is even good for adults. I mean, it's mom and baby, but it sounds like some of this stuff is also good.
Everybody on the planet should take Biomedic for gut health. You know, we can't control our environment and our food all the time, but like I said, we can control, you know, our health and what we put in our body most of the time. So if you can take the Biomedic every day to at least help pull those toxins out, help your body absorb the nutrition that it needs to. You know, I can leave you with this. They say, you know, that old saying, you are what you eat, but it is not. It is you are what you have the ability to absorb and digest. Wow. Think about that.
Wow.
If we're not absorbing, it's not.
Repeat it.
Say that again?
Yeah, say it again.
Okay. So we are not, that old saying, we are what we eat. We actually are what we have the ability to absorb and digest.
You need to make yourself a little infographic for that. And put your name on the bottom and share that around. I was typing it in so I can
yeah.
Group. So, well, thank you for taking the time. I don't see any other questions coming in. Thank you for everybody who hopped on live.
I love when we have guests because I can just sit back and you guys get the drive.
Oh, I loved being here with you guys. It's so fun. I'll come back anytime. And like I said, I'll go through and answer questions. If people want to connect with me, you know, I'm here. Friend me on Facebook, send me a message, and I look forward to seeing who's going to get the consultation.
Yes, definitely. And then maybe as a little teaser, we have our Healthy Philosophies, private Facebook group. So if you aren't in that right now, we go deeper into some of these topics, and maybe as we continue to build up that group, maybe we can have guests like you to come in where we can go deeper on a certain topic. We want to the topics on the page, we don't want to spend too long on them. We want to be able to give you a little taste, but in that group, we go a lot deeper into that. Okay. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I look forward to seeing you guys. Have a great night.
Of course, and you're welcome to stay on for the final comments if you'd like, or you can jump off, whatever.
Oh, let's see. I want to see who's, are you going to do the raffle? I want to stay for the raffle. Can I stay for the raffle?
I think, I'm thinking that Brittany won. However,
I think she took it.
However, we probably should double check, or do you think she won? She asked the most questions.
We can double check, but I think Brittany took this one.
Who makes the biomedic? They want to know about that.
Yes, who makes the biomedic? Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
We read like
Drum roll.
You want to tell them about the biomedic? So biomedic is made by Purium Health Products. It is probably one of the cleanest companies I've ever been able to find for my clients. We use it on the patients in the office. And this particular supplement, the biomedic, is patented to us only. It's the only supplement in the world that does what I described with pulling out toxins, rebuilding the villi, speeding up the lining of the gut so we can heal our guts faster and just feel better.
Well, yeah, and it also received the gold standard from the Detox Project.
Yes,
and they don't give gold standard stamps to anybody.
You're right.
So that was the first gold standard, because what they do, the Detox Project, they, because there's so many products and systems on the market that claim to detox, and they go and they check and they study and they test and they put the scientific backing behind it to see if it actually is legitimate. Yeah. So that was a really big deal. And that was part of why I decided for Jay and I to include biomedic in our life, because I was like, man, I don't want that glyphosate in my body.
No. Everybody should be on it. Yes. I'm sure you've got like a gift for everybody, even who came on. They could try the biomedic.
Yeah, definitely. You guys can definitely come, we'll share, we'll reach out to you guys independently and let you know, we'll answer some of the questions that we may have missed. It wasn't intentionally, like, for example, Tara, if you can go back, I think it was like, hey, do you have a website or blog? So, you can go back and comment on that unless you want to share it right now.
I should. I should. I don't. I have my Facebook business page, and I spend a lot of time, I spent so much time in my career one-on-one with clients and really just enjoyed that. But I definitely have a website that I'm working on, and, I'd love to say blog, but not yet.
That's all right.
Something in the future, right? One step at a time. Yes.
One Facebook Live at a time.
One Facebook Live at a time. That's blogging. So, and what I am going to start doing is like weekly wellness talks on my business page where I just come up with a topic. So if you guys are interested, Tara Lynn Health is my Facebook page. So you can go ahead and like that. And then I'll start doing some type of weekly talk just to put, information out there for everybody.
That'll be good.
And guys, if you're interested in the biomedic, please let us know. We have a discount code for you to save some money on that. So if that is something you're definitely interested in, if you're interested, let us know. Type biomedic in the comments and we will reach out to you personally.
Yes. If anything, get your family on biomedic. It's the best way to start. If you could just pick one thing, I would start with biomedic.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all the time. I know that today was a very powerful conversation having Tara on. I hope that this was very helpful for all you parents out there. Brittany took home the cheese and whatnot about, I don't know, that kind of sounded weird. She took home the cheese and we said no. But she took home the big prize. Being able to spend some time with Tara one-on-one to get some.
And if you missed it, if you hopped on late, you need to watch this from the beginning because I actually sang before we got started.
He did.
I missed it. I'm going to have to go back.
You have to watch the first couple minutes of that.
Couple of seconds.
And then a couple announcements before we close up. Remember, our Healthy and Happy reboot is starting on June 18th. So if that's something you're interested in doing and rebooting for your life, make sure you let us know because you need to get ordered by Monday or Tuesday to get everything on time. And then next week, next Sunday, the show, it's Father's Day. So what we're going to focus on is staying active as we age. How can you switch it up to adapt to lifestyle changes? Because there's a lot of things that happen from being an athlete in high school and college or whatever you did, being active there and then moving into your 20s, 30s, 40s, etc. So there's lots of changes. So we'll talk about that. Jay's excited about that, although he looks really cool, calm.
I'm super excited. Super excited.
Bounce with us, bounce with us. Anyway, so that's next week's topic. We can't wait to see you next week at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Tara, for hopping on with us. Thank you, everybody, for live, and we will see you soon.
Bye, guys. I'll see you soon, Brittany. Bye.